A change that's literally will be felt by poor people, not just the bailing out of Wall Street, but the support and the upliftment and the betterment of Main Street and of the streets. That's what we need, and we gonna fight for it, man. We gonna fight for it. All right. Now, speaking of fighting, there are people fighting right now. Guys, Mayor Pete is fighting.
Caitlin, let's start with some of the breaking news that John Delaney has announced that he'll be dropping out of the race. I mean, I don't know if this is really going to impact the Iowa caucuses because I don't think he was really making a big splash, but you tell me.
No, I don't think it's going to have any impact at all. The former congressman from Maryland dropped out of the race today, which is, it's interesting that he didn't try to see it through, considering that he has spent all of his time here in Iowa for the past 2 years. But it was very apparent many, many months ago that his candidacy really wasn't going anywhere. And so his departure from the race today isn't surprising, but it does come, it is notable because he has been in the race the longest. All of these candidates, though, are expected to be in Iowa at some point over the weekend. Those senators from Washington trying to get back here as quickly as possible. Joe Biden and Pete Buttigieg, of course, have been all over the state trying to talk to as many voters as possible.
So let's talk about Mayor Pete Buttigieg. He is now calling out Joe Biden and Senator Bernie Sanders by name during his campaign events. What's behind this shift, Caitlin?
Right. This is a candidate who has been talking about unity and bringing the party together. But now in the final days and the final stretch before those Iowa caucuses, he is really sharpening the knives against the opponents that he sees as his top rivals here in Iowa, going after Biden and going after Sanders. We've seen him over the past couple of days really lay into Sanders and try to speak to that sentiment among the Democratic establishment figures that there is this concern about Bernie Sanders' candidacy and whether he can win. But going after Biden is something really new that we've seen from Buttigieg over the past 24 hours or so. And what he's trying to do here is really try to capture some of the support that Biden has. They're running, both as kind of more moderate figures in this party. The difference that Buttigieg wants to draw is a generational difference. And he's been trying over the past several days to distance himself from Washington. It was really interesting to hear him in a town hall the other day talk about how people are kind of exhausted, he said, by watching the impeachment hearings, by watching the divisiveness in Washington. So he's trying to distance himself from that. We'll see if it works. He's slid in a few polls, but we're having some more polling coming out tomorrow night that a lot of people will be watching. And he has been all over the state really trying to ramp up his support.
So, guys, Mayor Pete, as they stated, Mayor Pete was going extremely hard and aggressive at Bernie Sanders. They say Joe Biden as well. What I have a clip is a kind of an example of just some of the things that Mayor Pete was saying about Bernie Sanders, being as though he was the unifier, turning the page and moving forward. Everybody needs to turn the page and move forward and go on to bigger and better things. I'm going to play you a clip of that. But before I play you that clip of Mayor Pete being Mayor Pete, the real Mayor Pete, I just want to acknowledge for a second that we're a couple days outside of Iowa, and we got a lot of people that dropped out. John Delaney dropped out. Eric Swalwell dropped out.
Because that defines who we are. We try, we fail, we try, we fail, we try.
Breaking news, Kamala Harris dropping out.
Only African-American woman pounding on that door, pounding on that glass ceiling is now out.
Ohio Congressman Tim Ryan has dropped out of the presidential race.
We've given voice to the forgotten communities and the forgotten people in the United States.
I just want to give a big shout out to everybody who's still here. That's substantive. You know what I mean? Because Cory Booker's gone, Kamala Harris is gone, John Delaney's gone, Beto O'Rourke's gone, Julian Castro's gone. Do I need to say that Tulsi Gabbard and Andrew Yang are still here? And that's like, wow. Particularly Andrew Yang, who's a business person. I mean, so I don't think I would have to say that, but that's obviously, right? Like, that's a lot of people gone, Johnson. I'm just saying, it's like, and I'm leaving out Hickenlooper, Bennett. Is Bennett still in it? I could name names of probably people, Bill de Blasio, that we don't even think about. right? Don't even think about these people. These people are gone, Johnson. So I just want to have a moment just to reflect and to remember. Now, what I would like to hope is that people are in this for the right reasons. But our conspiratorial minds start to working. These people are here. Half these people are plants. Half of them want to, get enough information to get a book deal done or something. But if these people are honest actors, something to be respected. But I got to say you, man, some people are in it just for power. One of those people is Mayor Pete. I believe Mayor Pete is not here for any good reason whatsoever. I do not believe he's truly here to serve the people. At every turn, he lies, fabricates, and creates false narratives. Here he is doing just that in this video.
Then, on the other end, you got Senator Sanders talking about the revolution that can only happen if all of us go all the way out here. And nothing counts unless it goes all the way. You're not fixing health care unless you have eliminated the private health care industry. It doesn't matter that you're offering the biggest transformation of college affordability since the GI Bill unless you're even willing to fund the children of millionaires and billionaires going to college for free. Then, on the other end, you got Senator Sanders talking about the revolution that can only happen if all of us go all the way out here. And nothing counts unless it goes all the way. You're not fixing health care unless you have eliminated the private health care industry. It doesn't matter that you're offering the biggest transformation of college affordability since the GI Bill unless you're even willing to fund the children of millionaires and billionaires going to college for free.
I want to say this one time, and I want to hopefully my voice is clear, hoping that everybody can hear this. The reason why we need to end private insurance is not a hate for insurance. It's a hate for the insurance system. A system that is profit-driven, that is needed to save lives, that should be there to keep people healthy and extend and better lives, should not be tied to a profit margin. The same could be said about our news. Pete understands that principle. He just doesn't give a shit. Amy Klobuchar, they get it. They get it. They understand it. They understand that it's something fundamentally flawed. That you can come up and say, I need this pill to sustain my life. And a company could say, okay, it costs us $1 to make, $1,000, please. And you say, I don't have 1,000. They say, well, go get $1,000 or die. That is what's happening. Denying coverage helps them save money, so they are denying coverage. Pete Buttigieg and so many other people in this race act like they don't understand that. You as a voter, as a regular person, if you could choose anything in this world that would be better. Well, you know what? I don't even need to put that analogy to you because over and over, Democrat voters, not just Democrat voters, voters in general, have health care as in their top three. It's the most focused, the most important issue to Democrats. I don't know about Republicans, but I know it's pretty high up there. Health care is very important to everybody in this country. And the older you get, and the more people you see pass away, the more people who die in your life, the more you will recognize it. And you have yet to really see how bad that healthcare system is until someone you love is going through it. Pete Buttigieg is a horrible individual for a lot of reasons. And there could be reasons of policies that I differ with him about. But for him to gaslight, what you saw there in that clip was desperation on his face. That's what it was. He was desperate. He's desperately trying to pry voters away from Bernie. It's not going to happen. The other thing, the college for free thing. Horrible. Horrible, guys. Well, we don't want to give college to free for people who can't afford to go to college and relieve student debt because rich people might not have to pay. We're talking about local colleges, public colleges, not private colleges, not Stanford. Rich parents are not going to stop sending their kids. Well-to-do parents who can afford it, are not going to stop sending their kids to private institutions because now their kid can go to a community college. They're just not. If there are people in that auditorium or wherever Pete is at, in that schoolhouse, wherever that was, who actually think that P. Diddy is going to send his kids to the community college when he could pay and send them to some other highfalutin place you can brag about for elitists, we got another thing coming. That's just plain stupid. What's bad is that Pete gets to lie unchecked. Pete is horrible on these two issues, and probably many more. Hell, man, there are people who said just the fact that there are those who don't support Julian Assange, that we should throw them away. I support Julian Assange, and I think we should be protecting him and defending his right to be a journalist and report the truth. That's what I believe. All right, guys, I'm going to go to phone lines. I think I've covered everything I had to cover up to this point. The Bernie surge is real. It's not a fabrication. We're going into Iowa. We got to go get it done. There are a lot of boots on the ground. I just want to give a big shout out to everybody working their asses off for the Bernie Sanders campaign. Everybody who's working for their own candidate, whoever that is. But at the end of the day, I want the best candidate with the best policies to win this damn thing. It matters. Policies matter. More than your personal feelings, more than who makes you laugh, more than who's cool or who's nice or whose identity you relate to more than any of that. More than all of that.